Hey, good morning, guys. This is Hank, and this is
Maxverse presents
Gund.
13.
This is Gund. Um, I just had this crazy dream, and I just realized it's 4:03 in the morning. And anyway, um, I was living in a high rise, really tall. Well, I was on the 11th floor, I believe, and and I mean the place was pretty nice, and it was big and spacious, and I could see these big black clouds. I mean, really black clouds outside the window. And so I'm looking out the window and I see the black clouds, and the cloud goes by in a sense. So I sort of followed into the other room, and I was like, "Hey, you guys, look at the cloud." There was someone else in there. I think it was my partner. Oh, I don't have time to look at the cloud or whatever. I said, "No, no, no. You really should look at this cloud. I mean, it's pitch black. I mean, it's black, black. I never seen a cloud so black. You should look. It almost." And so I followed around, and then I noticed that literally it's circling the whole place. And there's a whole bunch of black clouds that are totally circling this building that I'm living in. I don't know what made me get in the elevator and go down to the bottom floor and to the lobby. And then I go outside, and I can see literally, it looks like we're in the eye of a storm. And all of a sudden I can feel like an updraft, like the wind just started like sucking up, and I ran back into the lobby, and somehow the doors were open, and there was like not a phone booth or something, but there's like this room that I went into, and literally it's all of a sudden like you hear that freight train, that sound, and and you can hear things breaking and crashing, and it was just crazy. I think literally that this tornado formed around the building and came straight down. Now, that's probably impossible or whatever, but that's what happened in this crazy dream. And so um, I remember whatever I was holding on to at one point, the force was so much, I literally broke the wall. And then it just stopped. And then you can hear people screaming and crying. And then I go outside, and there's a huge, I don't know where all these people came from. There's a whole huge crowd, and the people are just like looking at the building. Like, I don't know if any other of the other buildings in the surrounding place were like affected or whatever. So like I went out of the building and like passed into the crowd, turned around, looked back at the building, was like, what? The building looked like it had been ripped up. I was like, oh shit. I turned back around, went back into the building, and that whole lobby area was pretty jacked up, but I somehow got on the elevator. You know how dreams are. Pushed the button, and that was really weird because once it went up, the elevator was round, and I realized that the building was round also, in terms like it's just, it wasn't like a square building. It was literally a round building that went straight up like a silo or what have you. So I went up, and the elevator was sort of broken because it worked. It was going up, but like the insides of the elevator had been ripped to pieces, and the floor was almost like it was teetering. I don't know how it was. Just you guys, it was lifting up, but it stopped at like the ninth floor, and the inside walls of the elevator. So I literally had to jump through a hole, and I came out in these people's apartment, and I said, I'm so sorry that I had to come in. And I said, and there was this little girl and her mom. And I said, where's the stairwell to get up to the 11th floor? So the lady says, oh, no problem. And she takes me through her place, through the kitchen. And then she says, through that door. And then I go in, and it looks like a closet. And she says, well, there's a stairwell over there. I said, I mean, I'm telling you, it looked like I was in a closet. It was a long closet. It was all pink. And I went through the door, and it's like, looked like a bunch of people's personal effects. It was like a little, like a kind of something that you'll see inside of a home, like a little, side door to get you upstairs. So I went up the stairs and then, but I knocked. And then there was this guy there and he had this accent. He's like, "What are you doing here?" And he sounded like he was Irish or something like that. But he's like, "What are you doing here? You can't come this way or something like that or whatever." And I was like, your neighbor downstairs said this was the door to get to, but you can't be coming through my place." And I was like, I need to get upstairs. Is this the 10th floor? Yeah. I said, I need to get up one more floor. Oh, you live up there with them? And I said, what do you mean I live up there with them or whatever? And I said, listen, I will put a blindfold on or do whatever it takes just to get up. So I don't want to see your stuff. I don't care about what kind of stuff that you have. And even now I can hear him just saying, "Oh, the likes of you coming down here with us or whatever." And I'm like, I still didn't get it or understand it whatsoever. You know what? I never did get out of that. I got out of the closet and I, 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 I think I sat there and for the longest just trying to say, just to get him to get me through to. I think I made up some story. I said my babies are up there, and I was just thinking. I think the only things that are up there was Eddie's and the dogs, or something like that, or whatever. You know how you're still thinking about this life and not wherever you're at, or whatever, when you're in the middle of these crazy dreams or whatever. And then the door in my bedroom burst open, and my boxer came in and dove on my bed, and it sort of brought me out of it. And I was, for the longest, I was still keeping my eyes closed and trying to think of a way that I could actually get through this man's apartment or whatever to get to a normal lobby or get to the next set of stairs to go up to the next level or something. And I pretty much wasn't able to do so. Then I woke up. And I was like, oh man, I'm sort of used to waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning and then having that last dream. But it wasn't six, it was, well, what time is it now? It's 4:10. Crazy, crazy dream, guys. Man, okay. All right, guys, thank you very much for listening. I do appreciate it. And who can figure that one out? Love and light. Namaste.